Okay, let's talk about how a niche anime came seemingly out of nowhere to become one of the biggest pop culture stories in Japan. It all starts with a single tweet that basically revealed a quiet giant was in the making.
Right, so it all kicked off with this tweet from late 2025. Now, this is a pretty clever play on the show's own title, and it pits a new movie called Watanare against a film from Mamoru Hosoda. And for anyone who doesn't know, Hosoda is a living legend. We're talking on the same level as someone like Hayao Miyazaki. It's a bold comparison.
And here it is. This is the screenshot that made that tweet go absolutely viral. Just look at this. We're at the same theater for showtimes that are literally minutes apart, and the results are just staggering. The Watanare movie? Completely sold out. Hosoda's brand new film? One single reservation. As you can imagine, this picture sent total shockwaves across social media. It sparked one massive question. How in the world did a niche Yuri or girls love anime manage to pull off this incredible David versus Goliath upset? Well, to figure that out, we've got to rewind a bit. So, to really get a grip on this whole phenomenon, we have to start with the source material itself. Before it was a box office titan, what even is Watanare? Watanare is the official shorthand for a light novel with a very, very long title. The story is all about Ranaka Amori, a girl who was a total loner in middle school. So for high school, she decides to give herself a complete makeover to get popular. The only problem is, her plan works a little too well. She suddenly finds herself at the center of a harem of the school's most popular girls, and they are all competing for her affection. And this wasn't some overnight success story. The original light novel actually started way back in 2020, and it just steadily built up a loyal following. But the real game changer? That was the high-quality TV anime adaptation that dropped in the summer of 2025. That's what really set the stage for its movie sequel to become a viral hit just a few months later. So, what was the secret sauce here? What made it so appealing to so many people? Well, the first big clue is in its formula, which managed to feel both completely new and incredibly familiar at the exact same time. It was actually a brilliant move. The creators took the super well-worn structure of a male-led harem rom-com, the kind of millions of anime fans know inside and out, and they just did one simple thing. They swapped the passive male protagonist for a female one. That move, that simple swap, was a masterstroke. It made a Yuri story instantly accessible to a huge audience who might have never even considered watching a girls love anime before. But it was so much more than just a simple gender swap. The way the show was framed was totally intentional, and it was absolutely critical to its success. Yeah, check this out. In an interview, the anime's director, Natsumi Uchinuma, said this was the original author's vision from day one. The goal was never just to make a Yuri story, it was to make a girls' love comedy. See the difference? The emphasis was always on creating a fun, funny, and entertaining show that absolutely anyone could jump into and enjoy. And on top of that really smart formula, the show was just really, really well made. I mean, critics and fans were all praising its quality across the board. From the super charming characters and detailed story to the fluid animation, the killer theme songs, and the sharp, witty dialogue, it was the whole package. So you have all these factors mixing together, and they started to attract an audience that genuinely took everyone by surprise. And this, for me, is the most fascinating part of the Watanare story. Who was actually filling all those seats in those sold-out theaters? Because the key demographic that launched Watanare from just a well-liked niche show into a full-blown mainstream phenomenon, well, it wasn't just the traditional Yuri fanbase. No, it was something much, much broader. And this was just perfectly captured by the title of a blog post that went viral. It was written by a guy who described himself as a third-rate systems engineer in his late 40s. And he, like so many others, was an older heterosexual male fan who was skeptical at first, but then just found himself completely won over by the show's sheer quality and charm. So how did they do it? How did Watanare manage to capture the hearts of this completely unexpected audience and turn them into such passionate fans? Well, Analyst pretty much points at three key pillars. First, it struck a perfect balance between fan service and real, genuine emotion. Second, framing it as a comedy gave newcomers a kind of plausible deniability. It made it feel less intimidating.
And third, because it was so well made, it became the perfect gateway drug, the first Yuri anime for a massive new audience.
And this really just lays it all out. It was a perfect storm of factors that came together to create this massive hit. You had a familiar structure that people already understood, top-tier production quality, clever marketing that framed it as a comedy, and a strategy that successfully pulled in a huge new audience from outside the genre's usual fan base.
And this is a big but, attracting this new, largely male audience didn't exactly come without a cost. This unique appeal sparked a really significant and sometimes pretty heated debate within the anime community.
So on one side, you had fans celebrating the show, saying it was amazing for bringing the Yuri genre into the mainstream. But on the other side, some longtime fans of the genre argue that this success came from catering too much to a male audience, and that its specific style of fan service meant it wasn't true or authentic Yuri. It sparked this really passionate debate about what the genre even is or what it should be.
And so, in the end, Watanare's incredible, controversial, and completely unexpected success leaves us with this one fascinating question. By blending a familiar formula with top-tier production and smart framing, has this show accidentally created a new blueprint for how other niche genres can break into the mainstream? The answer to that could very well shape what the next big anime phenomenon looks like.